Welcome to one of the fastest growing sports YouTube channels out there, Golden Blue Dude. And can you believe it? College football is here, and it's time for me to do my very first college football game prediction. Week 0 starts tomorrow on Saturday. Really, the biggest game is Nebraska at Illinois. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me again, Golden Blue Dude. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. What are you waiting on? I do college football videos every single day. That is what I do. For me, it's always fun to talk about college football. I never have an off season, but the official start to the college football season starts tomorrow with week 0. And the biggest game is Nebraska at Illinois. Not a huge game, but it's the best we can come up with. So that's the game I'm going to talk about. But there's some other games that I'm actually going to pick. These are my picks for this week. I won't start doing my actual spread picks till next week. So this is just straight up against each other. UConn at Fresno State. I'm going to give it to Fresno State. Home game. UConn sucks. Hawaii at UCLA. That might be an interesting game, but I think UCLA has the edge, and Chip Kelly has that team going in the right direction. Utep at New Mexico State. Utep is the better team. New Mexico State does not have a very good home environment. I'm taking Utep. Southern Utah at San Jose State. This is going to be a blowout. I got San Jose State in a blowout. There's one game on Wednesday. UAB at Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State is FCS, and UAB is getting better, so I think UAB takes care of business fairly easy. Temple at Rutgers. I kind of went back and forth on this one. I think Rutgers with the home field advantage. Greg Schiano is back. I'll take the Rutgers in this one. Western Illinois at Ball State. Another blowout. I'll take Ball State. Wagner at Buffalo. Another blowout. I'm taking Buffalo. Boise State at UCF. I'm not going to predict that one just yet. I'll do a prediction video on that specific game in a couple of days. Another Thursday game. LIU at FIU. FIU easy. Citadel at Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina will blow them out. UC Davis at Tulsa. Same situation. Tulsa will blow them out. South Florida at NC State. On paper, it looks like a good matchup, but it's not. South Florida's bad. NC State easily gets the check mark. Weaver State at Utah. Utah going to blow them out. East Carolina at Appalachian State, but I still have Appalachian State quite easily. Ohio State at Minnesota. That's another game that I'll do a prediction on separately. Houston Baptist at New Mexico. This is going to be a bad game to watch, but I still have New Mexico. UT Martin at Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky shouldn't have any trouble. I have them in the win. Bowling Green at Tennessee. This could be closer than you realize, but I still got Tennessee. Eastern Washington at UNLV. This one might surprise you. I'm going with Eastern Washington. That's how bad I think UNLV will be this year. And then Southern Utah at Arizona State. Southern Utah gets blown out again. Now it's time for Nebraska at Illinois. Illinois just hired a new head coach in Brett Bielema. He did very good at Wisconsin. He did okay at Arkansas. I still don't understand why he went from Wisconsin to Arkansas. Makes no sense to this very day. Really good offensive line. Very big. 4 starters are back. Quarterback Brandon Peters does have some experience, but I don't trust him in big games. The running game is where Illinois is going to really concentrate on this, with running backs Chase Brown and Chase Hayden, so they'll have a good running attack. The problem is that wide receiver transfers and uncertainty, no leadership. They do have some good tight ends, though. Tight end Daniel Barker and Luke Ford give some type of weapons, but Illinois is not going to have a good passing game. Now, the defense, under this new hire, they're shifting from turning people over to actually stopping people. I do think it was a good hire with defensive coordinator Ryan Walters. They have a great linebacker in Jake Hansen. Solid defensive line. They're okay at getting to the quarterback. Not great, but okay. Secondary is kind of hit and miss for Illinois, led by defensive back Tony Adams and cornerback Devon Witherspoon. But that will be their weakness on defense. That's secondary. Now for Nebraska, Scott Frost is going to be coaching for his job this year. This is an important game for him. He took a big hit with leading wide receiver Wandale Robinson transferring. Several other players transferred as well. So the biggest questions for Nebraska is actually leadership. I do think Nebraska has a good quarterback in Adrian Martinez. He was actually the team's leading rusher last year, and if he can avoid mistakes, he could actually be a pretty good quarterback. Nebraska's going to have a great offensive line, a lot of size, a lot of athleticism. They also have size at the wide receiving position as well. They got a transfer in wide receiver Samori Tor. He's 6'3", and they also have reliable tight ends. Austin Allen is the best. He's good at blocking and receiving. Now for their defense, they are very experienced. They have 5 super seniors coming back this year. 9 players that started at least one game from last year are back on the defense. The biggest name is linebacker JoJo Doman. It was a big hit on this defense when linebacker Will Honus went down with an injury in the spring. But the key for Nebraska on the defensive side of the ball is get pressure on the quarterback and create turnovers. Last year they were 50th in total defense. That's not horrific, but it's not good either. They need to be better than that. Now the actual game itself. Starting on the road is a difficult task. But luckily for Nebraska, they drew Illinois. I think quarterback Adrian Martinez for Nebraska could have a really good game, gain a a ton of confidence from this game. I do think that Nebraska is more physical than Illinois, and that will pay off in this game. They have more size and better athletes as well. All you have to do, Nebraska, is avoid mistakes. That's it. Now with Illinois, their defense is shifting from turning people over to stopping people. But in this game, that plays right into Nebraska's hands. On offense, Illinois will focus on running the ball, and that also plays into Nebraska's hands. They have excellent size up front on that defensive line. Their only issue is getting pressure on the quarterback. They won't have to worry about that against Illinois. Nebraska's weakness on defense is against the pass. Illinois won't be a passing team. Illinois' defense will try to pressure Martinez, but I don't think they'll be able to contain Adrian Martinez's physicality and mobility. Look for Martinez to tuck the ball and run a lot in this game, and I think he'll have success in doing so. The good thing for Nebraska's defense is they really don't have to worry about pressuring the quarterback. They just have to stop the run. This particular matchup against Illinois. This matchup favors Nebraska. Here's the line. The last time I checked, Nebraska is favored by 7. The over-under is 54.5. I like Nebraska in this game, but it's going to be an ugly, ugly game. I'm going to take Nebraska 28-20 over Illinois. So I would actually lay those points. I would have them winning by 8, and they're favored by 7. And I would take the under on that 54.5. I don't think a lot of points are going to be scored in this game. It's going to be ugly, a lot of running. So just prepare yourself for that. But everything that Illinois wants to do plays into the hands of Nebraska. That's why I like Nebraska. This matchup favors the Cornhuskers. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on my next show.